Well, certainly, the anniversary of the 7th of October is certainly a watershed in Israeli history. We're talking about two distinct periods now. I think historians will discuss it in terms of what obtained before the 7th of October and what after. We're living in a very different world now, where many illusions were shattered with regard to the neighborhood we live in, a very violent and unstable neighborhood, and people were brought back down to earth in a very violent way. Um, the the 7th of October marked the end of the Oslo delusion. Okay, that was a worldview whereby it was deemed possible to make peace with an enemy who was bent on the destruction of the Jewish people. Unfortunately, many people practiced upon the Jewish people, and I'm talking about not just abroad, but also in Israel, a part of the leadership practiced an act of fraud whereby this could take place. Namely, the basic premise was if only territory was ceded and they were allowed to build their own state, then peace could be had. Okay, so this sleight of hand had been going on for a very long time. The mask has been firmly brought down from this character, and people now understand the reality of the neighborhood. It all came crashing to the ground. The illusion came crashing to the ground on the 7th of October. So we're in a very different state of affairs now.
So is it fair to say that there is a before and after, and it's something that you perceived as well by talking to Adele yesterday?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Even people that were positioned on the left, the so-called peace camp, now realize that we're dealing with a monster. Palestinism is a monstrous ideology. First and foremost, it's monstrous with regard to the Jews, and it has also ruined the lives of many decent Christian and Muslim Arab-speaking people who would have wanted coexistence, because Palestinianism has poisoned the environment. It's something that has no, it wasn't conceived for peaceful coexistence. Bear in mind the whole notion of a Palestinian people is a 60s construct created in the early to mid 60s, okay, before Israel took control of Judea and Samaria. And it was created for the sole purpose of destroying the Jewish presence in the land of Israel. It has no other objective. Up until 1967, as you all know, Jordan illegally occupied Judea and Samaria. For some people know it as the West Bank. Okay, and there was no clamoring for a Palestinian state when Jordan controlled Judea and Samaria and when Egypt controlled Gaza.
Yeah, I hope people are taking notes because there is so much ignorance these days that maybe some are surprised, maybe some are fact checking your comments on Google or on Wikipedia. Now, I wouldn't rely much on Wikipedia these days because I think it's contaminated by activists. So if someone out there is relying on what is in Wikipedia, maybe check other sources. Would you
Indeed.
agree with me that Wikipedia is something very much ambiguous,
It,
to say the
it, it
least?
yes, it lends itself to manipulation because basically anybody has access to it. So even people in bad faith or ignoramuses can let's say fiddle with it.
Hmm.